Hey there, internets. This is Kyle, coming to you once again with another episode of the My Business Launch Secrets YouTube channel. Today, we can talk a little bit about podcasting that I've been doing some research on, and excuse me, further updates on my funnel. Great frustrations once again with ClickFunnels 2.0. I just don't understand why they don't do some very basic things. And I think I still got my crazy red eye in this eye here. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. It's nasty. For some reason, health-wise, yesterday I was doing a little bit better. Today, things just kind of went to shit. I got this like freaking crazy sinus pressure in my head. Freaking hate, it's like you can't turn your head too much one way or the other. And you got to be careful when you're getting up and going down, changing your elevation. As you get the pressure build up. It sucks bad, but I think it's a little bit better right now, but I've got this like red eye thing going on. I don't know what the hell. I thought I was over things yesterday, but maybe I got over one thing but picked up something else. I don't know. Or it's spread to my sinus passageways. So it's not ideal. So in the midst of still having to take care of kids, hey, we got those. Plus, my wife is not feeling too great either. So it's like both of us are kind of on our asses all day, just trying to like not pass out, sort of thing. Meanwhile, two kids who themselves are still not really great health-wise, but sick kids, they don't really know they're sick. They're just like, fuck this. I'm just gonna run around wild and scream my head off all day anyway, because why not, right? And I feel like crap, so I'm gonna let the world know about it. So that's what kids do. At least that's what my kids do. So, really runs you down, obviously, over a bit. Tried to take a bit of medicine earlier, but kind of helps a little bit, but it's just, especially with the sinus pressure, I've never really found anything personally that helps me a lot. Medication, that'll just take that away. It just seems to be, I don't know, try to keep your sinuses clear and eventually it goes away. I don't know, it's weird. But fuck that shit. So somehow I guess after yesterday, listening to Alex Ramosi and thinking more about what I'd like to do for the business content-wise, and thinking, okay, I should probably set up a podcast thing. And I did not explain yesterday, but one of my motivations for doing the podcast route is because podcasts are something I actually listen to. And again, a bit of advice from Russell Brunson and others as well is that when you're starting out, you should make content on the channels that you yourself consume, because you'll just be a little bit more motivated to do that. Like for me, I don't read blogs like ever, so I probably won't stress about getting a blog up and running right away. I have looked into maybe some options of setting up the blog, which you can do now in ClickFunnels 2.0, I guess relatively easily, although I don't think anything is super easy at this point in there, since there's so many bugs and things you have to work through. But let's just assume, for the sake of the argument, that it is easy to set the blog up. If I could set it up on my site, then what I could do is just get a transcription of my podcast, drop it on the blog as a blog entry with a link to the podcast or something, or the YouTube or whatever, because at least that's helping you, again, over the long run. You're building more content into Google's algorithms, getting the spiders or whatever to search through your blog and pick up the keywords through your blog, as opposed to, I don't know how they do that with just audio or video things. I presume I'm sure they have the technology, of course, to pick up keywords from your voice in a podcast or or a video as well. But in any case, seemed like something, again, assuming it's relatively easy to set up the blog, assuming there's some quick way to get a transcription of a podcast, which that's one of the services I was looking at today. Apparently they will do that for you. Then it's just a matter of like copy paste into a blog article. I don't know, maybe come up with a picture to throw on the blog or something. Call it a day. So, okay, so I might do that, but I'm not going to stress about it because, again, I don't read blogs. And even though maybe some of my future customers might be blog people, it's not one like channel or whatever I'm going to worry about a lot right now because it just personally doesn't motivate me. But I do listen to podcasts. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm like a crazy podcast nut or whatever, but for me, being somebody who commutes every day, I've just gotten used to it especially over the past couple of years, but I've probably kind of done it on and off for many years of using that commute time to listen to podcasts because it's time that I can't do anything else with. So I listen and try to learn something during that time. That would otherwise just be dead time. And I figure, again, since my target audience is much like myself, that maybe they do the same thing. So it seems like a good idea to focus on that. And then doing the video, YouTube, again, could just be a video recording of the podcast. I just throw that up on the YouTube. So 2 birds, 1 stone, maybe 3 birds if you throw on the blog. So as I start to digging into like, what exactly how do you make a podcast? I mean, not that I need somebody to tell me how to use a microphone or stuff like this. I mean, how to record stuff on your computer. Like I've done that for decades, but, I've never recorded a podcast, frankly, so I don't know like exactly what are the ins or outs of doing that and what are the best practices or stuff. So I started to do some research and just what do you do to set up a podcast, right? And I came across this company here, Riverside, which they claim, I guess, a lot of big podcast people use them. I mean, I haven't. They've got a bunch of testimonials, so I guess that's true. I don't know. And anyway, I guess they just have a lot of tools to make it very easy to record, and they've got video, built in with the audio, and they'll give you a separate audio track, of course, out of your recording, and I guess help you sync it up to your video. And as you see here, you can have multiple people. So if you're doing kind of more of an interview type show, they have all those tools built in, which I'm not really planning to do at least initially, but good to know it has that. And then, I don't know, various other things. I mean, you can store your recordings on their site, up to 4K video, up to 48 kilohertz audio quality, screen sharing, which I guess notionally is something I could think about doing for the YouTubes, much like I do here right now with the Loom. And here's unlimited transcriptions is in this particular package option. So I figure, okay, well, if I'm getting that, and I don't know, even if I don't want to commit for a year, let's say go monthly, it's $30 a month to get that. And then, so this like helps you do the recording of it, but then you still have to do some editing of it. So that's when you got to figure out, okay, I need an audio editing tool, something like Audacity, which I've actually used before, back when I used to be a PC guy, but didn't know that they also make it for Macs. It's a free open source tool that's actually works pretty well, and it's pretty slick overall, and has a lot of effects built in. It has all the basic ones you would ever need for podcasting kind of stuff. So I was looking into that, downloaded that, played around for a little bit. Shouldn't be a big deal. So then you, after you do the editing of it, then you just distribute it out to somewhere. Oh, I think there's like platforms that act as distributors, which I think like Anchor is one of them. Podcast. Anchor. The easiest way to make so Anchor is actually, I guess, a way you can actually use their tool to record it even, but and I really, honestly haven't really even looked into them, but this was one that you could connect to your Riverside or whatever this is, Riverside account, and bump it up here, and then this like is your distribution channels. What I think I understand, hosting and streamlined distribution. So distribution to all major listening apps. There you go. So in my mind, really the main ones you need to hit are like Spotify and Apple, maybe Amazon. At least those are the only ones I've ever used. I guess I've heard of other ones called like Stitcher or something, but so you load it up on here to distribute. It's all those places. Oh God. I might die. If I die here on camera, please tell my wife and kids I love them. And then you're off to the races. You've got a podcast now, I guess. So that's how I do that. Fun stuff. But once again, it's just like still kind of daunting. Like, geez, like here again, like I just learn how to use all these other tools. And again, not saying I'm gonna like geek out and like make it super highly produced podcast, but I want to put out something that's like, sounds like it's legit. And like this is another thing I was thinking about yesterday, and why I often wonder, like, if all this internet business thing is so easy, like why haven't like 100 everybody and their mom gone off and started a business and become millionaires, right? I think it's a couple of things. I think one, well, it's really one thing. One thing is, which is that they just don't stick with it. And you ask, well, why don't they stick with it? Well, they're not getting quick returns on the work that they're putting in. But see, I think the problem in a lot of cases is that, sorry, I gotta take a break here. The stuff they put out is just kind of garbage. I think I mentioned this in the past, but like some of these Facebook groups I'm in, which are, for ClickFunnels and challenges I've been in and various other things, which again are full of people that are just like me getting started. And then, they'll put links to their sites or to their advertisement video or whatever and ask people to look at them and provide feedback. And like 90%, 95% of the stuff I see on there is just like, please just don't, you should not do this. Like, this is not for you. Because although, again, I think it's partly to blame of folks like Russell and others that are just like, just get something out there. Like, you just got to get started. It doesn't matter what you put out there. And so they just put something out there and it's garbage. And Russell's like, it doesn't matter. I'm just like, yeah, you can. I failed 86 times before I got my success. But even him, like, and he showed some clips of Russell Brunson has showed some clips of some of his old stuff. And yeah, they weren't like great, but he still like had all the core pieces in there. And even if it wasn't the most stylish or whatever, it at least hit the points you kind of need to deliver, I guess is the point. But some of these people, they'll like record themselves, obviously just with their phone, like here, I don't know. So you're like looking up their nose and it's in like a dimly lit room. So you know how those kind of videos look like amazing, right? and they'll just kind of be talking like off the cuff. And this is supposed to be like their Facebook advertisement or whatever, this thing that's supposed to hook people. And it's like, hey guys, hey, so I got this new course I'm launching, and I think you'll really like it, and it's only 36 cents, so please go join my page. Okay, thanks. I mean, that's kind of an extreme case, but along those sort of lines of people just are not, they just don't take the time to really think through what they're doing, I guess. And even some basic things like, I'm not saying you gotta have a fancy camera or anything, but at least people should see you on your own video, and like the audio should sound good and clean. And which again, there are free tools on the internet you can use to edit your audio, etc. So it's not like you have to be an expert or spend thousands of dollars to get this up and running, right? But you do have to take the time. And even for me, thinking about like this whole bundle offer I want to do, these T-shirts you see behind me, I spent whatever $60 or $70 buying these T-shirts just to like test them, so I had something to look at, so I knew before I sold somebody something, like I knew what they were going to get. And I was personally kind of proud of it, even though I'm not a T-shirt designer. But again, I can use a simple tool like Canva to use a bunch of their designs, tweak it, add my own company stuff, blah blah blah. And even I haven't really looked at this part, but for shipping out the initial thing, what ClickFunnels does and Magnetic Marketing does the same thing, although I didn't save that box, is they have like this custom box, shipping box. Okay, so that's how they're shipping, right? Branded to their thing, so that when you get this, like, holy shit, like this is that thing this random weird thing I ordered on the internet, right? And it was pretty cool. It even has like a mock-up of the award that they give. So, this is like a slick deal. And props to them for putting this together. And you get a book in this, and you get a T-shirt, and I don't know, a couple other things. And it's like if you were to get something like that from some random company that you never heard of before the internet, but you get something like that in the mail, a week or two later, whatever it is, like that immediately kind of, I think, puts you at ease a little bit to say like, oh, okay, like, yeah, this is a legit company, even if you didn't pay them like thousands of bucks. But in my case, they'll pay me $30 and get like a slick box like that with a decent T-shirt, notebook, a couple of editions of the newsletter or something, I don't know. And I think immediately they'll be like, oh, okay, like this dude's like, this is a legit business. This isn't just some janky thing that I, flushed $30 of my money down the drain, right? And the importance there is that it gets them to think about, oh, this is something I think I want to like stick with for a little while. It's not something I want to call them immediately and tell them to cancel my subscription, because this is clearly a scam, right? So, I think putting in the work up front to at least cover some of the basics. I mean, again, like in my case, I'm offering a bunch of online courses or whatever, which I haven't done. I haven't put in the time to do that. I mean, I will do it at some point, but probably not till after I launch this whole thing, because I'd rather just get it launched, see if anybody's going to buy it anyway, and then put the time in to put that stuff together. But some of these other things that I know I need to like knock out soon, because I want as soon as somebody orders, I want to like have this kind of thing ready to go so I can ship it out. So you get those quick wins that again reinforce your customer believing that what you're trying to sell them is legit. And again, if it's really about you building a long-term brand kind of thing, then I think these sorts of things are important. If you're just doing one-off selling nude squirrels or something, paintings, I don't know, then maybe you don't care about any of that, I guess. But I'm trying to build something that'll be a little bit more sustainable over the long term. So I think these things are important, and that's why it's taking me a little bit longer. Today is day 50, this is recording number 50. I think I'm behind a couple of days officially, but recording number 50 of my journey here, and I still have a long ways to go. And I think that's okay. Sure, I would like to be further along than I am, but I don't want to put out just something that's total garbage and that I don't personally have some confidence in as being a decent product, right? So anyway, that was kind of a long rant, and it's 20 minutes in, and I'm not going to show you my funnel now because I would just get frustrated and talk for another 10 minutes about that. But nevertheless, I think I worked through some of the challenges I had there. I'll show them tomorrow or some other day, assuming I wake up tomorrow, because I might just sleep for eternity with the way I feel. Hope you're doing better, a lot better than I am. Hope your families are well. Just keep on kicking ass, taking names, and again, put in the work. Spend some time. Think about what you're doing. Don't just put some bullshit out there and then be like, oh, this internet thing doesn't work because people don't think it's cool. Well, it's not cool because it's dog shit, and you just need to face that facts. Face facts. #face facts. There you go. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Peace.